welcome to a new video. It's Mia or Trueblade, and today we are looking at the Arrtx acrylic markers, the SIMPTAP series. This one was an interesting one. They come in up to 48 colors, which is this set you see here. It comes in this cute, like, glittery box. I really like the aesthetic. It's so cute. Arrtx is always super good with their aesthetics in their packaging along with their product, so always appreciate that. They actually sent me the 48 set here, which you see, and they also sent me a 36 color set, which I will be hosting a little giveaway for them, so stay tuned. It's why I have not opened it. It's still in its plastic, and I don't plan to open it for this video because that is for the giveaway, so look forward to that. So I thought it was smart to just like pile them all on my desk. There was a little bit of a struggle with that because some did fall, but they're good, I picked them up. And so these markers work a little differently from like the other Arrtx acrylic markers. Those ones, they just straight up have like you just can straight up work with it right away. With these SIMPTAP ones, you kind of have to work a bit for it. As you can see, I kept like the footage of me shaking the pen in real time. All of this is real time. I was like very nervous to use these, admittedly, because of the way it should be used. As you can see, I pressed it too much, so the kind of splat, but at the same time I couldn't see it on the nib, but using a white I think was a bad idea to start off. I think I should have tried the other colors first, because then I can at least see something. As you can see, it happened with this one too. I did the same thing. I think I pressed it too many times and it leaked a little bit, so I was, like I said, I was struggling, I was scared, but we pulled through at least. It was a fun and interesting experience trying them out because I had been seeing them around and I did want to try them. So when Arrtx contacted me, I was like very excited, but also very nervous. But I decided to keep more of my swatching process in this video because honestly, I think it's pretty funny and fun, like here with the yellow. This one was weird because I can see the ink flow, but then it wasn't flowing to the nib. So I was struggling, and I think like, watching the process again of me just shaking the pen actually made me kind of laugh. It's so silly. Oh my god. But you know what? It's okay. I didn't know what I was doing, admittedly. It was a little bit of a learning curve, but it's okay. It's actually quite fun. Ugh, that's true. I split that one too. This one was a mess. It first dipped, and then I thought I can try coating the nib with the color, kind of like a dummy. I don't really know what I was trying to gain from this, but I did it anyways. But yeah, so the way the pen works is they want you to first shake up the ink. I don't think you have to shake it up too vigorously, but at the same time I think it's okay to do that. I kind of shaked it up pretty vigorously, and instead of pressing the back like 2-3 times, at this point I started getting the hang of it. I only pressed it once and it seemed like the ink was flowing pretty good. It won't cover up the full nib every time, as you can see here, but the ink and the coverage was still like, it was perfect. The coverage is really good on these markers. I feel like it's better than the other Arrtx markers. I could be wrong, but maybe I could have tried doing maybe a comparison video. Maybe that'd be fun, because just to show how much of a difference, if there is much of a difference between the two. To me, it felt like so. Even in the speed paint portion for this video, you will see, I feel like the colors were nicer to work with, or maybe my sketch was just dried up better. I don't know, but I felt like there was a nice coverage with the SIMPTAP versus the other acrylic ones. Don't get me wrong, those are good too. They're really good, but I feel like this one was still better. Also, if you want to skip this process, because I did keep all the clips in real time with the swatching, it does get kind of long. You can skip. I'll probably put like a little timestamp on the screen to show where you can kind of skip through to get to like the speed paint portion. Or you could also speed up the video too, since YouTube does have that option. But I find like the swatching process was very satisfying. It took quite long though, because there's 48 colors. You have to shake them every time and then press them at the back and then make sure that some of the ink flows to the tip at least some. If it does not do at all, it will unfortunately not work, of course, so you have to like, in those cases maybe you would have to let it spill. Like over here. This one was pretty runny because it did come on the tip, but then it like splat. But after the swatching, it seems like things were okay. There were some colors that were kind of runny for me, like they're more inkier than others. But you know, nothing a little tissue can kind of like help with that. Alright, speed paint time. So I used the Canson XL mixed media sketchbook. It's not as thick as watercolor paper, but I like using this paper for anything that's not watercolor. It's really reliable and it's also not too expensive, so it's like my go-to sketchbook for anything, even marker, like even alcohol markers, I would still use it on this. But here's my sketch. I was really happy with how this one turned out. I did spend a little more time than like it just being like, you know, a sketch. I really liked this one. So I was actually very scared to like put the marker on because it's gonna cover up the lines, which is good, but I wasn't sure if I'll be able to like follow through. I was very nervous. I'm sure I've said that so many times in this video by now, but I was nervous. Even here, like, to me, the colors were very opaque, so as you can see, like, 2 quotes covered up my pen lines, which is good. I felt like with the other ones, it didn't do as easily, which is fine. Again, they're still good. I'm not trying to, like, bash it or anything. I'm just kind of, like, seeing similarities and differences because those markers are the very first acrylic markers I ever used. This is like my second time trying them out, just at the different series, and since it is from the same company, I think it's okay to kind of compare because it can help for like if people want to get these ones. It can help if you want to get this one or if you want to get the other set. And as I said, some colors more runnier than others. Like that. Oh my god, I was getting so worried here because I was like, oh my god, I messed it up. Oh no, how am I gonna fix this? I didn't even flippin' fix the blur. It's still flippin' blurry until a little later. Now we're back. Okay, so I tried to repair. I was really getting nervous here. Acrylic markers is a lot of trusting the process, and it can really kind of make or break how you're feeling about the art. But that's the fun of it, that's the thrill of it. But you kind of have to keep going. You have to keep going, or else either you just give up, like I did in my last acrylic marker video, or you keep going. With this one, I really want to keep going. And this is a little technique I saw from other YouTubers. I've seen them from other artists. I've seen they use like a paintbrush because it is acrylic paint technically, and this is a game changer for like doing softer shading. It was really nice to do the blush with this. I was really happy with this, and thank you YouTube artist community for showing this, because I would not have known. For some reason I didn't think of like combining mediums, even though it is again, it's paint, so you can use a brush and you can play around with it. there's no rules. You just gotta play with it however you feel. Oh yeah, and here was one of the markers. It was a little too runny, so I had to kind of clean it up a little bit. So for the color selection, as you can see this swatch in the earlier portion of the video. I think the colors are pretty nice. They have like a decent amount of like a few, like maybe 1-2 colors for each kind of skin tone. If you want to do light, you want to do dark, you want to do medium, you should have enough for doing so. Blushes and stuff, maybe not as much, but at least like you have like the base skin tone depending on what kind of color you're going for. I worked a lot on the blushes. I kept like, I feel like I kept messing it up, and again, a lot of times I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna give up here again. But I didn't want to give up. I really did not want to. I wanted to finish this piece. I really wanted to make it look nice. It took time, but I think I did succeed, and I was happy. And pay no heed about the hands. I did not work on the hands for this piece. It was more so I was focusing on everything else. Making it easier for myself. We're moving on to the hair. The hair was a fun experiment because her hair is like a pale lavender, and this color is a bit dark for a pale lavender, but with the limited colors you have, you kind of have to figure out how to make it work. And I used this one as like the base, and then I kind of added some extra colors that I guess it wouldn't actually make sense, but it's fun to just kind of do a little bit of stylization, like with the pink here. I really like how the hair turned out. It was really, I don't know, I think it's really interesting. Like, it's different from how I usually do hair. So I had a lot of fun with it. And I think it adds like an interesting dimension to it with using the pink, and then using a, as you'll see later, I'll use a little bit of blue also, just to kind of give the hair more depth, if you will. But yeah, overall I was quite happy with the rendering. I think it was, thankfully it turned out okay, unlike the other video where I kind of just gave up. This one I was really happy with, and working with the SIMPTAP markers was pretty nice. I feel like the brushes on, like the brush nibs are actually kind of softer than what I was thinking they would be because of like acrylic ink. I was thinking they'd be kind of hard, but I feel like they're softer than the other set. Not too soft where they're like spongy like a Copic marker, but spongy enough for you to like make some nice and interesting lines, thick and thin, and you can like, I don't know if you can kind of get a flicking motion with these, especially because it's acrylic ink. Oh, sorry, not ink, I mean acrylic paint. Sorry, acrylic ink is different. So, I don't think you can really do that, but it still did pretty nice. Overall, I had a lot of fun working on this. This is just a little, I guess, self-indulgent picture, sorta, of my 14 character. Surprise, surprise, I know. But that's just what my vibe was. I kind of just draw her when I don't really know what to start with, or depending on what I'm feeling, really, I guess. I kept working on the skin so many times because like over here I messed up again by adding the highlights. I got upset. I was like, oh no, I spread it too much. It's like trying to keep fixing and fixing and fixing again. But trust the process. That's the motto of this. That's the motto? I'm not sure. But that is the moral. Keep going. And if you don't like this one, you can start over, but don't totally give up. That's the whole thing with art. You keep going. You make some ones we don't like, some we do like, but just keep going. As you can see, some colors are more opaque than others also. I feel like that's like the normal nature for any medium, especially any kind of wet medium like this one. I really liked how the bouquet of flowers turned out. I thought it was actually quite cute, just like dabbing different colors on it, or like different shades of pink. And then there's the tulips in the back. I think like it doesn't cover up the pen marks 100%. I could be wrong. I probably should do like a test for that, but it does not. And another thing I should test with these colors, and I want to test with these colors, is I think it said it's, I believe on the barrel they say they're light fast. I want to test the light fastness of these markers, and then we can take a look where I'll probably put them like on a window, and then after is it a month? I think it's about a month or so. We can take a look at how the colors have faded or if they're still there. That would be an interesting experiment. But this is also just me playing around with the set. I'm not reviewing them. This is just my first time using them, and it's been a lot of fun, I will say. Like, I would probably have bought this myself too if Arrtx didn't send it to me. So I add some black lines. Here I'm using the Ohuhu multi-liner. Wow, my brain. Yeah, the the Ohuhu multi-liner with the brush tip also, and then a bit of highlights with the Sakura Jelly Roll. But you can always just use the white also from the set. The white is actually pretty good, as you can see with like the horns and stuff. And here too, it is pretty opaque and strong. Just gotta maybe layer it up a little bit. But with everything you have to layer it up, because one layer will obviously not like cover up anything. You have to wait for it to dry, do it again, and then go over it. Hehe. Overall, I'm actually pretty happy with this piece. I wanted to use as many colors as I could. I think I didn't use as many as I could, but I did use a decent amount, I feel. I think it's a good amount of each type to kind of showcase what you can do with this set. I will be doing more, of course, more speed paints or more posts hopefully on Instagram and stuff. I've been kind of dead, but we will get there. I kind of have been like wanting to focus more on YouTube than Instagram, even though like it is a nice way to kind of archive everything. Well, or not archive, kind of show everything, or you can kind of have like a little gallery. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been rambling this whole time, but we are done. She is done. Oh my god. I was really happy with how this turned out. Glamour shots. But yes, that is my first time trying the Arrtx SIMPTAP 48 color set. And for these ones, comment the paint palette emoji, which I'll show on the screen, and tell me, what would you do with these markers? Or tell me like what kind of things you like to paint. Yeah. And that wraps up the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!